George Washington didn't actually wear dentures made of wood as most people believe. His dentures were made of ivory, bone, human teeth, and animal teeth, and they were said to be strong enough to crush other teeth. John Adams initially wanted the President of the United States to be called His Highness, Protector of their Liberties. This was shot down because most senators and representatives thought the title was too grandiose, and a wimpy, unimposing man like John Adams wouldn't suitably fit such a title. Thomas Jefferson offered to sell his own personal library to the Library of Congress after they had theirs burned down by the British during the War of 1812. Only about 97% of Jefferson's books were purchased, as the remaining 3 were too offensively pornographic for preservation. James Madison was less than 5 feet tall and weighed less than 100 pounds. Somehow, he set the all-time bench press record of any president that has been in office at 400 pounds unassisted. James Monroe was the first president to run unopposed, and won the election without even having to campaign. His political opponents all dropped out before the race began, claiming that guy just smells really, really weird. John Quincy Adams loved to skinny dip, and one morning his clothes were confiscated by a reporter who only gave them back after he agreed to do an interview. The reporter noted in his article, "President Quincy Adams is hung like a horse and tastes like a stallion." Andrew Jackson once killed a man in a duel, and swore until his deathbed that the man in question was actually him time-traveling from the future. He was quoted on his deathbed as saying, "Don't go to Disneyland on April 10th, 2030. Some real bad shit is gonna happen." Martin Van Buren was the first president to be born in America. Historians are still perplexed to this day how he didn't end up morbidly obese. William Henry Harrison gave a nearly 2-hour-long inauguration speech during a snowstorm, which caused him to develop pneumonia, resulting in his death only a month after taking up role as the president. No one particularly cared. John Tyler had the nickname Baby Cakes Tie Boy because of his particularly effeminate looks and demeanor. It's up for debate on whether or not he sold sexual favors for money, but his presidential addresses were often flirtatious and a little too suspiciously gay. James K. Polk oversaw building the Washington Monument. At first, he called it the greatest achievement of his term, but grew a strong distaste for it after continually explaining to everyone that it wasn't meant to symbolize Washington's penis. Zachary Taylor owned a horse named Old Whitey, who was even more famous than he was for its service in the Mexican-American War. Tourists of the White House were often confused if Old Whitey referred to the horse or President Taylor.